Peter Strzok is a CIA agent who grew up in Iran. That is what we have learned this week. It turns out that Peter Strzok is not really an FBI agent, but he had a ceremonial deputy post at the FBI. In actuality, he is secretly a section chief on counterespionage for the CIA. He had this position under John Brennan, and so he was operating out of the CIA when he was targeting President Donald Trump during the campaign. We know that now. We know that he grew up in Iran. Tori Lindemann broke this story for Big League Politics from a high-level government source. Thomas Wichter also discussed this on Twitter. He was raised in Iran. He went to school in Iran at the American school. He had to flee Iran with his father in 1979 after his father, as a CIA asset, participated in the downfall of the Shah and the rise of the Ayatollah, and that was under Jimmy Carter. So Peter Strzok has been a deep state asset his entire life, and so he was the guy with the most expertise on cyber warfare, who they brought in to the FBI under James Comey. And the reason they had to bring him into the FBI from the CIA was because the FBI had all the surveillance data, because that's where Obama and James Comey stored it. All of the facial recognition and Facebook photos and stuff that they were storing, they had to do it at the FBI. So they brought in Peter Strzok to do Operation Crossfire Hurricane. They called it Operation Crossfire Hurricane because they were all using the same computer server called Hurricane Electric, which was being hosted on government servers in the United States and also with other countries in Europe and Asia and elsewhere. Now, we know that during this period, Hillary Clinton was hacked by the Chinese. We know that now. Lisa Page has confirmed it. And our source, a longtime former FBI agent, Chuck Merler, has also confirmed it in a text message to me that I just received. He said, "The secrecy with which they've reacted proves that it was a China hack. If it would have been any other country, they wouldn't hesitate to hammer and publicly attack. But China has a massive cyber attack presence in the United States, and the Washington bureaucrats get heavily lobbied by China to turn a blind eye." So Lisa Page, behind closed doors, confirmed that Hillary Clinton was hacked by the Chinese, and now it turns out that the FBI is confirming it as well. So Hillary Clinton was hacked by the Chinese. We already knew that because we had her emails where she went over to East Asia and it said that there were massive security vulnerabilities on her BlackBerry. That was her first official trip. So after that, the Chinese just had her whole email thing to themselves. But the Russians got in there too, and some other people, because she didn't secure it. She had an open webmail portal, so anyone could just hack in. There are 12-year-old kids probably in Indiana who were hacking in to Hillary Clinton's emails. So this is very relevant because we know now that at a key point in the campaign, the Chinese are aware that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are using the US federal government to go after President Trump. Interesting. So now China has that card on Hillary Clinton. And I think that was a lot of, there was a lot of pressure that went along with that. So we know that there needed to be a scapegoat in all of this. And it couldn't be China because China had the cards on Hillary. China hacked into Hillary as soon as Hillary got into office in 2009 as Secretary of State on her first trip. So it couldn't be China. China couldn't be the scapegoat. It had to be Russia. And Russia made for a convenient scapegoat because they were already hacking into everything and they were already colluding with the Democrats on various things. The Russians, for instance, purchased 20% of our uranium because Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama sold it to them. So regardless of how you feel about Vladimir Putin, the fact of the matter is he took 20% of American uranium because Hillary and Barack wanted him to have it. Reports out of Israel show that Vladimir Putin then sold it to Iran. He sold enough uranium to Iran for Iran to make 10 nuclear bombs. So if we're not, living in a fantasy land, it's quite obvious that Iran either has a nuclear weapon already or they're very close to having one, and who knows what kind of weapons they have, like suitcase bombs and that kind of thing, which are close to a nuclear weapon. All of this collusion was going on with John Brennan, with Peter Strzok, with Obama, with Peter Strzok's girlfriend, Lisa Page, even though Peter Strzok is a wife, also had a girlfriend, Progressive Times. And they were all colluding against Donald Trump. Now, this has all come out, and it's very important that we get this information out there. And, I'm so proud to see so many Americans out there who are sharing this information and making a real difference. And, it's incredible. It's really incredible what Peter Strzok was doing. And this goes back decades. The Peter Strzok family has been in Iran since at least the 1950s. So this is hardcore CIA. This is John Brennan coming after, some good American patriots who tried to run a presidential campaign and who did so, by the way, with decency and integrity. Decency and integrity from Stephen Miller, from Michael Caputo, from Roger Stone, from Steve Bannon, from David Bossie, from Corey Lewandowski, from that whole team. They just did a remarkable job. And they beat the Democrats at their own game, which was the media. They beat them because as soon as they got their pro-America message out to people, it became impossible for America to resist it because we are all patriots who love this country. And so all of this Russia nonsense is just a lie. It's a disgraceful lie. We show it every single day. It's just a lie, 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 lie. And that's what they're doing until enough Americans wake up that we can continue to win elections and we can continue to influence the government in ways that these people need to be leaving and some new good people need to be coming in. God bless all of you, and keep reading bigleaguepolitics.com.